runs the major area here in the Bay. And what we do, and what she's doing, has to do with, as I said, saving the world one startup at a time. And I'm happy to welcome her. Please give her a hand.
Hi everyone. Just a few words. Yes, actually, yeah. I think Sebastian already introduced me, so if you have, unless you have any more questions about my personal background, I'll just go through the slide deck. Let's see. So this is what we do. We find, we fund, and we foster entrepreneurs with big ideas that address today's urgent energy, environmental, and economic challenges. So what we're looking for is disruptive technology that can change the world and make the world a better place, like Sebastian said. So basically, we're a non-profit organization that was founded in 2005. We started out in California, and then the Northeast came on board. And since then, we've kind of assimilated the rest of the United States like a board, but in a green way. And I'm happy to announce that last year we also signed a contract with the United Nations. So now we're expanding into 6 developing countries as well. So we're growing all the time. So we'd like to refer to ourselves as a network of networks. So this is basically how we manage to grow our organization. So we work together with national labs, for instance, the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, the Livermore Lab. We work with service providers, like for instance law offices like Dorsey & Whitney, Sidley Austin, corporations. Last year we did a successful event with IBM, and now also, like for instance like Denso, Park, and then we also work with utilities like PG&E is one of our big sponsors. We're dependent on individual donors as well. We work with foundations. We have good ties with government, for instance, the City of Palo Alto, the City of Fremont, the City of Oakland, Foster City as well. And then we also have connections with venture capital, for instance, the Band of Angels. And also we have the Creative Forum are also one of our many partners. So when we look for startups, we basically look for 8 different technology categories that they can bring to the program. So, the categories are energy generation, energy efficiency, ag water wastes, energy distribution and storage, chemicals and advanced materials, ICT, so information and communications technology, green buildings, and transportation. And this year we're actually focusing a lot on transportation. So if you know of any startups within that space that may be of interest to us, let us know. We're also focused on energy efficiency and energy generation this year, and I believe energy storage and distribution. So those 4, let me know, especially if you know and have any leads for companies, because we're recruiting. Yeah?
In a year, I'll have a son who's looking for a job.
Okay.
We have lots of unpaid jobs at our organization.
Volunteer.
Yes.
That's the way to start.
So this is an old slide. I like it better than the new one. So basically, this is where we're at. This is where we play. So we're in between university competitions and the commercialization stage. So we're looking for early stage seed level companies that either have a working prototype or a concept, just an idea. So we're pretty broad in the early stage, but we do have a few requirements for the companies as well. So we have a kind of vetting process at the end of May where we go through the companies. But basically, unless they're way off, then early stage companies can apply right now, and then they will know at the end of May whether or not they've been accepted into the program. So this is what we'd like to offer to each team, given our large network of mentors. We like to give each team 1 generalist mentor and 1 specialist mentor. So the journalist mentor, it's well, actually two of them. So one serial entrepreneur and one industry expert from the industry, and then if the team. So yeah, so basically those journalist mentors, they work pretty closely with the team on a weekly basis. And then in case they have like a deep dive question that's so specific, then we tap into our other network of specialist mentors. So that's awesome that they're willing to give their time for free to help out our startups. So this is basically our timeline. Our year is divided into 3 parts: outreach, acceleration, and showcasing. So right now we're here. This means we're organizing a number of business briefings, as we call them. Wonderful events which are focused on topics that really interest entrepreneurs. So if you have any interest, let me know. We currently have 4 events in making. One will be on March 31st, in San Francisco. Those events will be posted on our website as well. So come along. It's really great fun, great networking. Yeah. So basically, like I mentioned, we have, so here we have the deadline, May 1st, and then we have the process where we go through the applications, and during the summer we start our training session. So basically that means that the startups will work with their mentors and go through a number of so-called worksheets. So basically it's all about cracking down on the numbers, being able to formulate the financing needs, the funding needs, that kind of stuff, figuring out their markets, and getting that all cracked down into numbers. And that's a very hard thing to do. We have our highlight event of the summer, which is a national academy. So it's also being called by the entrepreneurs like a mini MBA. So that's pretty cool. It's a 3-day event, and it basically has a number of high-key speakers that will go through the different business topics that pertain to every small business. And then here we also have our business clinics and investor clinics and pitch clinics, which is kind of more like an intimate session with specialist mentors, kind of a one-on-one with the small teams and small groups, nice groups, of course. To kind of have that face-to-face contact and go through any other questions that they may have. And then come autumn, we have our judging. First, we'll put them through the mock judging. It's kind of like a Shark Tank, but of course, our judges are a bit nicer than that. I hope so in any case. And then after the judging, we have the Global Forum, which is kind of the gala event of the year. It's a celebration of the winners, but also of all the companies that have gone through our program. But because it's not about winning, it's about getting everybody's product to market.
If I may, so you see that this is a year, and I think what's important to mention is that before the acceleration path starts, the people that come in are mostly people with PhDs or great ideas or a prototype that they carry around day and night and explain it to everyone who wants or wants not to hear about it. Then in a 3-month period, June, July, and August basically, they work extremely hard, and after that period, they are able to talk to investors. They're able to really present themselves as a professional company, even without the money. So these 3 months are very intensive, and I think that's the value add that I think Open offers. Help people with a technical idea to make a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, they will never make it to the real world.
Yeah. Thank you.
Kim,
Yeah.
are the people that are coming, they already have a company set, or a lot of them are individuals with an idea?
Usually, well, most people I would say have like a company of at least 2 people. That's actually a requirement for our program. And when you look at the companies, then yeah, it's usually around 2 people. I would say that's basically the case, and they already have registered a company, or they're about to do so. But we also have like earlier companies as well. So.
But normally no revenue.
No revenue, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, no revenue.
Oh, that's my son.
Do you go as high up as Series 1 financing, or do you
No,
start
Series 1, that would be
too advanced?
for us.
You're just basically at the angel level, the beginning level.
Yes, so we have some funding requirements. So the companies that join the program are not allowed to have drawn in more than 1 million from family,
Okay.
friends, and
Or fools.
Yes, and more than 5 million from private investors. Basically. So those are the part of the guidelines, I mean the requirements.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that as part of the Global Forum, we have a pretty cool event which is called Investor Connect, and that's kind of a speed dating event with investors. So basically, they have like 1 or 2 minutes to pitch their startup, and then they will rotate and meet with another investor. So it's that's a pretty high energy event. Yeah, pretty cool. And then we also give all of our companies that have gone through our program a chance to showcase their product. And usually at the Global Forum we also have press coverage. So again, it's a great way for companies to get out there and show their piece. Yeah.
So when you showcase, you're talking to people who want to invest large amounts. These are venture capitalists mostly?
Yeah, I mean, the showcasing event is, there will be investors present at the Global Forum as well, but it's also for other people just to network. For instance, an agriculture water waste company may be very interested to talk to another ag water waste company, or a company that may be aligned, for their strategy as well. So it's a big event.
To your point and also to your question, there's a trend towards corporate investors more and more.
Yes.
So
What kind?
corporate investors.
Corporate. Okay.
So it's less and less venture capitalists, because the problem with clean tech is that it's real industry, so you need 3, 4, 5 years to build a plan, show that it works, and that's too long for most financial investors. Whereas corporate investors that are in the business where they see the potential, they know it takes time.
Yeah.
So that's more the trend towards investing from that side. That the IBM would buy a data analytics platform that they would like to gobble up into their own operations. For instance, this is an example.
Yeah. Any other questions at this point? So basically, this is what we offer all startups. We offer insight through our advisors and mentors. We offer focus through the training program, and also again through the mentors. So basically, focus is really key. I mean, it's just a word, but it's really important. We've noticed that a lot of people come from a tech or like lab background, and they don't really have any sense for business, and they're just they really just want to work on their product. So we're trying to get them out there. We're trying to make them see how to grow their business and to really focus on what's important, and focusing on the right customers, on the right markets, and just basically having the correct strategy to be successful. And of course, we also offer an opportunity to meet with investors, to target the correct customers, and to connect with important partners.
I'm sorry to. The slide before and this one both highlight the investor part, and questions were there. And in the very beginning, you also showed how much investment we actually drew in. So can you say something about what the companies typically attract in terms of investment and how much money they get?
Yes, so the average company that has gone for a program will raise around, was it 2 million, I think?
How much?
Yeah, $2 million.
2 million.
Yeah. So that's basically, that's taking the average from all the companies that have gone through our program since 2005.
Which is how many?
It's over 1,000, and we will come to that later.
Okay.
And I think more than 700 are still alive today.
That's great too.
What are some of the ideas that these?
Sorry?
What are some of the ideas that these firms have?
I think last year or the year before, we had like a great product to detect water leaks on fields. Mm-hmm. So basically, that would mean that the farmer would get a text message on their phone, so they can basically go to the field directly and find and correct the leak, so as to save loads of water and energy and time as well. So just that was as simple as
and just through software. They didn't even require any hardware to be installed.
Yes.
Just through analyzing the data that was already there, they could tell there's a leak here, there's a leak there. Go fix it. So without any real investment, they could save lots of water.
Yeah.
That's important for money, but also for the water reason itself. Yeah. So that's the winner from last year. Yeah.
Yes, and then we also had Dragonfly. They were actually acquired, I think it was last year. So they're doing very well, and they had like an advanced solar panel that took advantage of dips in the system. So a very clever team. But yeah, we have a wide range of companies that have gone through our program. Okay, is it working?
Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, there it is.
okay. I don't know if we missed the slide now.
Did you miss a slide?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, we did. Okay, great. So this is the number I mentioned. Some more than 1,000 companies have gone through our program. And this number is, of course, growing exponentially now as we're moving abroad as well. And this is actually a pretty cool number. I mean, you know, to have more than 700 companies that are still alive today from this total of, over 1,000, it's a pretty cool number that we're pretty proud about. And of course, you know, so many jobs, new jobs are created. That's also awesome to basically steer jobs in the right direction. We want to move in the, towards the clean technology space more and more. So that's really great. And together, those companies have managed to raise more than 1 billion in funding. So that's also a really cool number. And if you look at the patents, we're actually doing really well here in California. So we're actually the state that has the most patents that have come out of the program. Let's see. Sebastian, you want to comment on that?
I won't comment on all the slides. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think it's a great slide. I think it's,
it is.
I like to look at it each time I see it myself.
Yeah, so this is also pretty cool because here you can actually see it's divided into where the money is coming from. So we can see that 66.7 million came from angel investments, and then we also have from grants, but the large number actually comes from Series A and Series B. So that's pretty cool to see that the companies actually managed to succeed themselves later on in the process.
Maybe one comment on the financing, because
Yeah.
2 million on average per company, that is correct. But if you look at it really, then it's let me say maybe 30, 40 companies over those 10 years that raised 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, or even 100 million. So they have a really big fundraiser, and that makes up for a lot.
Yes.
And then you have maybe 100 companies that raised everything from 500,000 to maybe 1.5 or 2 million, then it kind of stopped. And they walk along and they don't go to Series A, Series B, it just stops there. And a lot of companies that just don't get any funding, so that's also the reality.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good point to our mission as a non-profit. We accept companies from stars, you can see that's already a great potential, up to people that we almost know they will not really make it to the first financing round, but we still allow them in to help them along because they have a great cause or great idea. So it has all these companies in it.
And we also have returning startups. So we've noticed that some startups, they come back next year and even the year after that, because if they were very, very early, like Sebastian just mentioned, then they actually can get a kind of new value from going through the program again. Because when they join the second year in a row, they have already advanced and they can grow further. So that's also pretty cool.
Kim, could you tell us about one typical program idea, business that in all these companies? What's one you could tell us about?
You mean the startup? Or?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I mentioned one earlier about the
Maybe Axiom from last year. Axiom.
Were those one with the fridges? Yeah, so Axiom Energy, I show you, what was that?
So, another one.
Yeah, no, I don't know, I mean.
So I happen to work with them. That's why I know about them. So Axiom Exergy is 3 guys that had the simple but brilliant idea to use electricity at night to create
That was a message for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So they offer to supermarkets that they will use electricity at night to store coolness, and they use ice blocks for that. And then during the daytime, where electricity is really expensive, they cool vegetables and stuff like that with this saved energy. And their first big customer that they have now won after the program is Whole Foods, that you know. So they will roll out that system that you can plug on any supermarket, California-wide, I think. And so that's going to save 30-40% of energy cost.
Yes.
So tell us how that works again.
So during the daytime, there's lots of demand for electricity. People switch on their computers and coffee machines, and then PG&E must fire up additional coal power plants that is dirty and costly. At night, they all go down because nobody needs it, everybody sleeps. So what they do is they use power that is not used. The power plants that have to run, they use that at night to create big ice blocks. Just use that image. They make big ice blocks. Then in the daytime, when the supermarket really needs cooling because people come in and out of the house, heat gets into the supermarket, they need to cool their things, their products. So then they use this ice block to send that cool air to the tomatoes and the meats and the cheese. And so the supermarket doesn't have to switch on the extra cooling power, and because it's expensive during the daytime, the PG&E doesn't have to switch on the extra power plant, which saves them a lot.
So,
Yes.
question,
Yeah.
is this accomplished through software, or is there actually some storage batteries?
Both.
Both
It's software because they can plug into the existing cooling system, so they know how is it being regulated and when will what switch on. But also, yes, they have a physical solution, and I think they use salt water solution.
Yeah.
Okay, not just batteries, but I mean some big solution.
It's a physical storage for
Yeah.
cold energy, which I think
Wow.
is salt water based.
Yeah.
And that's probably experimental at this point?
No, it's
Or is
being
it-
used. It's being implemented with
Wow.
Whole Foods, and that's the great news through our
Great.
program.
Yeah.
They were already smart when they came, but still, they got even smarter through us, and they got in touch with Whole Foods, and
Yeah.
and now it's
Wow.
really happening.
It's
This is going to happen in this company, huh?
It's also really cool because what those guys also said was that supermarkets lose a lot of money each year on power outages. You know, just imagine all that food going bad. So again,
That's
it's
a-
mitigating that risk. So it's really awesome. Yeah, question.
Angel investors, is there actually a return on investment, or are these investors going flopping? They're giving money with no expectation of return?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I mean, like Sebastian said, you know, the clean tech space is a bit special because it takes longer, for investors to get a return. So I guess, you know, if an angel investor were to invest, then that person would either be aware that he or she may not see any money, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, or may not see any money at all. So, but I have to say that from what I've seen, the investors really they're pretty tough, and
Yes.
they're not eager to just throw away their money.
They're just called angels. I think they want to make money. It's very
Yeah.
clear. The good thing in that, in my opinion, is that it doesn't help the world if there's good people with good ideas that want to make the world a better place, but they don't know how to reach your wallet or your wallet. If you're not willing to pay for it, it's not going to happen. So I think the biggest benefit that companies get is that they understand that the solution must be commercially viable
Yeah.
and competitive to existing solutions. If it's not, a few people will still do it.
Yes.
But most people say, you know, I don't pay 3 times for X just because it's green. I won't. I want a better product that's cheaper, and if it's green, cool, I'll do that too. And so the angels help with that because they really,
Yes.
they give them a hard time. It is like a Shark Tank. We have a practice one, but then there's the real one too. And they tell them like, you know, this is not going to work because, and I think that's great.
Is there a way to bring small investors in? Just an idea. If you pooled a lot of people with $25,000, pretty soon you'd have $1 million, and then you'd be a real number that could help a company. But is that kind of thing in your area also?
Yeah, it's under other. If you see other,
okay.
that's mostly crowdfunding,
Yes.
and that's
Okay.
so they use that. It's used more.
$25?
No, 25 million that you're going to put in.
Oh, yeah.
The politics, national, international, affect everything. And as we all know, there's a drought in California. And I played golf with a buddy of mine in college 45 years ago. They're going to build Auburn Dam. They still have it. Last dam in California is building a new Maloney's Dam. And I don't, there might be some environmentalists here, and I love the environment too, but I mean, this may be blasphemy, but environmentalists have too much power. And we got the governor who wants to build this high-speed rail. Well, who's going to take this thing? This is going to be a white elephant. What's it going to cost, et cetera, et cetera. I heard there's a proposal that's been out there to build 2 large reservoirs in Southern California and one in Northern California, and it still hasn't gotten done because of politics and environmentalists. And that all leads into lead and the environment and everything else has to be cost effective to the taxpayer and everybody else. But I'm just throwing my thoughts out there that all this green ID it's great, it's fantastic. It has to be cost effective.
Yeah, I just want to, as a reply to your answer, I'd like to say that if you look at Scandinavia, for instance, Sweden and Denmark, a lot has been done for the environment, and it's actually helped the economy at the same time as well. So they've managed to integrate governments, companies, and individuals to all work towards the same goal. And it's going great. They're doing fantastically, and people have live healthier lives. They don't need to spend as much money on health costs because they're healthier. Because the whole society is healthier. So it's all about connecting the dots and seeing the bigger picture.
But to your point, we are not a politics organization. We are not a party. We are not a state body. So we are focusing on entrepreneurs because they get stuff done and they just change things. And it's always there always have to be a bottom line that is saving dollars to. Without that, it's not going to work.
Right.
We're not building dams. And that's why we're also no point because they might just be empty. Because there's no water that goes into them. But that's another point, another story.
We're not environmentalists. We're basically an accelerator and one green startups.
Thank you, Kim.
Oh, yeah, actually, I wasn't done yet.
No problem.
So if you'd like to get involved, you can. You can volunteer, like Sebastian and I. If you want to mentor, partner, or attend our events, like I said.
Can donate.
Yeah,
Donate. Can donate.
I'll invest, but I won't donate. How about that?
That comes from the
Think about it.
Yeah. And if you want to connect with us, check out our cool new website, which is called western.communityopen.org. We just have a new platform that was launched on Monday, and it looks great. To say, we're also on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we have a LinkedIn group as well, and we have a newsletter you can subscribe to if you're interested to hear more. And that was it for me. Thank you very much.